Hello everybody, I'm Lonnie.
I'm Mark.
And this is Comic Book Malarkey as part of Untitled Nerd Network. And we are presented to you from Infinity Flux in Hickson, Tennessee. And they are doing a lot of remodeling right now, taking shelves down and stuff. But
they gave us swivel chairs though.
Yeah, I like these. I think we're going to use these from now on.
I'm having fun.
You almost got killed last video on one.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I almost ran over these boxes over here.
Yeah, you would have been impaled on metal railings, and
it would have hurt.
Yeah, that would have been it. But anyway, I want to talk about some books that we have here. I actually grabbed these up today. These are new books. Just came out Wednesday. Now, keep in mind, I'm
excited for this one.
We talked about the new X-Men books. This week came out X-Men Gold #2, X-Men Blue #2, and Weapon X #2. These are 3 more books that I really want to highlight, and we haven't read them yet, or he's read Batman #21.
I've read Batman.
I am a sucker for, here, I want to show this. I'm a sucker for lenticular 3D covers, and I'm going to get this up here and kind of show it, and yeah, I mean, that's pretty cool. It's like Flash, Batman.
And there's all kinds of backstory to why he's holding the comedian's button. We'll get into that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to talk about the story within.
Okay.
Really?
Well, no, this is the story before. This is leading up to this.
I know, and I really need to read that.
You haven't read that? So it's been
it's
all been a part of
It's Watchmen.
Okay, so well, here's the thing. That button's been there since Rebirth. When Rebirth started, when Wally got broken out of the Speed Force, that button showed up in the cave, in the Batcave.
Cool.
And it was right about the same time that Bruce was investigating the fact that when he sat in the Morbus chair, he asked it 2 questions.
Yeah.
Who killed my parents? And what's the Joker's real name? Morbus chair answered the first one. He was like, okay. Then they answered the second one and said, and to which he said, that's not possible, because apparently the chair told him that there are 3 Jokers. So my theory is that the comedian's going to wind up being one of them.
Really?
Well, I mean, so basically what we've discovered between Flashpoint and Rebirth is that when Flashpoint was being reformed into the real DC universe, someone stole 10 years of the history. Very, very heavily implied that it's Dr. Manhattan. Okay. So there's also been hints at Night Owl as well. But this issue, something really cool happens with the button. You'll have to read it to find out. I'm not going to spoil it for you since this just came out Wednesday. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but the button is a key piece of this thing. And basically what it's been is, since Barry got back from Flashpoint, him and Bruce have been investigating this button the whole time. And so something really cool happens with it in this issue.
Okay. So that's going to be a really cool one. I can't wait to read this. This is probably one of 6 books I'm going to try to read tonight.
Secret Empire #0.
This right here is starting up everything. We're going to have, there's going to be a Secret Empire book for Free Comic Book Day. We've got Secret Empire #0, which this is where it all kicks off. A bunch of the Avengers books are building up to this. Captain America apparently is a Hydra agent. This has been going on for several months.
Almost a year now.
Yeah, I personally don't think that's going to be a thing.
Well, so here's the thing.
Something's going on. It's not as it seems. This is easily written off.
Well, it is easily written off. So the way that he became a Hydra agent, and this isn't in this book, this is back, so this isn't spoilerific, but basically what happened is the Red Skull had a hold of a cosmic cube.
Okay.
And in the Marvel comic book continuity, after a while, the cubes evolve into living beings. Okay? There's been 2 or 3 of them. The Shaper of Worlds, Cubics, and now there's the new one who is Kobik. She's a little girl who just loves her daddy skull because he raised her. And so when it came down to like one of the final, like Steve had gotten aged because the super soldier serum had gotten dragged out of him.
Now, how did he become young again?
That's where I'm getting to.
Yeah,
so the Red Skull convinces Kobik to fix him and make him young again and give him back all of his super soldier vitality, but to make him happy the way that the Red Skull made her happy. So what she did is, when she recreated him, she implanted all these false memories that, since from the 30s when he was a kid, he's been drafted into Hydra, and then that they planted him in the army as a sleeper agent and the whole 9 yards.
Holy crap.
Yeah. So the entire Hydra part of his memories are implanted by Kobik. But I mean, he's living up to him. He got to this point to where he was like, the Red Skull is not a suitable leader for Hydra, and he kills him.
Wow.
Like, cuts his head off. And yeah, it was not fun.
Sweet. So I can't wait to read this. See, I'm not a big Avengers comic book fan, as it were, or even Captain America for that matter. But I'm really looking forward to reading this just because it looks cool. Oh, and you can't get this at Infinity Flux right at this moment because I bought the last copy.
You bought the last copy. Wow.
I'm sure they'll get some more in, though. They typically do.
And then, I'm really not sure about this one, but I'm a huge fan of the Ben Reilly Scarlet Spider.
I am too. That is why I bought it. Marvel is embracing us 90s kids.
I'm telling you.
Because Sensational Spider-Man was one of the best Spider-Man series I've ever read. As a matter of fact, it was the only Spider-Man series I ever enjoyed until Superior Spider-Man happened.
Oh, and Superior Spider-Man was so great. I love the writing on Superior Spider-Man.
That was where I got my first letter published, was the
Really?
final issue of Superior Spider-Man.
I would like to read it. I'm going to have to go back and get that. I've got that issue. I'm going to have to go back and read it. So, but basically, if you don't know who Ben Reilly is, I'm going to ask you to crawl out from whatever rock you've been under for the past 20 years.
30.
30? Yes. God, are we really that old?
Well, no, the clone deal started 30 years ago.
Well, yeah.
Ben Reilly became a thing about
in the 90s.
22 years ago.
So Ben Reilly.
Oh God, Ben Reilly is drinking age now.
Yeah. Ben Reilly is a clone of Peter Parker, and
they tried to make him out to be the real Peter Parker for a while.
Right, and there was this controversy that was like, which one's a clone, which one's real, so on and so forth. And Peter had this whole crisis of conscience, so he quit being Spider-Man so that he could go live with Mary Jane because Mary Jane was pregnant. Well, while he was gone, Ben picked up. Well, Ben had been running around acting as the Scarlet Spider, and then when Peter quit, he became Spider-Man.
I loved his suit.
I
know. Had the big spider
the
on
external web things
everything
that didn't have the pressure plate in the palm. They worked on how he moved his wrist.
It was such a good series, such a good costume, such a good character. I really liked him. I mean, I really did. He was great, and I really think it was so horrible how they just kind of unceremoniously killed him.
Yep.
Because he was like, oh, I guess I was the real Peter after all, because he died in the Battle of the Green Goblin.
Right, and there was some sort of disease that started going around killing the clowns, and he eventually caught it.
I personally would have liked to have seen him back in the '90s Spider-Man costume.
That would have been cool.
Yeah,
but this is the classic Scarlet Spider costume.
It is.
And then for a while they had the other clone, Kane, running around in Texas as the Scarlet Spider, but his suit was like a full black suit or a full red suit with a black spider on it. It looked like a red version of Venom, really.
Speaking of Venom, now I'm looking forward to this book. But speaking of Venom, the new Venom book I think came out either this week or last week.
I'm gonna have to pick that up.
And they have that here as well.
Eddie's going to be picking the suit.
Eddie Brock is coming back. Looking forward to that one, man.
I'll be happy to get away from. They have really made the Venom symbiote into something that was way beyond what it was supposed to be in the beginning. Like, in the beginning, it was just this alien creature that mimicked the suit and could recreate the webbing, and then when since it had bonded with Peter so long, when it bonded with Eddie, it gave Eddie some of Peter's powers.
Yeah.
But now with Agent Venom, you've got it. It's creating guns, it's creating legs, it's, and I'm just like, because like it created webbing. Like they were talking about it in. I'm a huge fan of the original 80s and 90s Marvel's official handbook to the Marvel Universe. I've got every copy because I'm a nerd. And they talked about how Venom, when he was web slinging, unlike Peter, who would throw a web, swing, and let go of it and go away, Venom was creating the weapon. The suit was creating the webbing out of its own substance, and so when he got through swinging, it would withdraw the webbing back into itself.
Cool.
So if you've got Flash Thompson making bullets out of the suit, wouldn't the suit eventually deplete itself?
Yeah.
So
now I will say, I may need to grab that myself because Eddie Brock Venom holds a special place in my heart because Venom Lethal Protector number 1 was my very first comic book.
Really?
I still have it at home.
Really?
It's probably about a 4.0 copy, but I have it at home.
My first comic book was Green Lantern, Volume 2, 182, Enter the Javelin.
It's interesting how you can remember that.
Yeah. Well, no, I actually had to, like, somebody was asking me at one point in time. I used to be on a website called Comic Vine, and I did comic book reviews there. And so I did a comic book review of the first comic I ever read, and I had to go and look it up, but since I looked it up, I remembered it.
Okay.
And then the second comic book I picked up was Shogun Warriors #1. So I had a Marvel and a DC comic that I picked up at a used bookstore.
Cool.
That was pretty cool.
All right. Well, yeah, lots of good stuff coming out this week. You can pick up everything but Secret Empire #0.
But you can probably ask them to back order it for you,
Yeah,
I'm sure.
they typically do. I know a lot of, especially whenever Diamond Comics sends them damaged books.
Right.
A lot of the stuff that came out this week that may have been damaged, they will be getting more in. And they typically can find stuff for you for cover price. Like if they don't have
Except
it.
for X-Men Gold #1. Don't ask.
Yeah.
That ain't happening.
It's actually up there for $20.
Yeah.
But in Infinity Flux's defense, try to go find that on eBay for less than $20.
He's got a point. You can't, but like that price tag was on there like a week after that comic came out. Like we were here to film one day, and I was like, "Hey, do y'all have a copy?" And he was like, "We got one right there," and I'm like,
Yeah, because I remember I looked and I was like,
because you had bought the last copy, didn't you?
I was like, that. Well, it was in my pull box.
You for starting beating me by
it was in my pull
copies.
box, but I was like, that can't be right. And I pulled up eBay and I was like, $22, $23 plus.
There was one you saw for $30.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Well, anyway, drop by Infinity Flux, grab some new books, and
grab some old books.
Yeah, grab some old books.
If you can't see it from here,
they can't grab old books right now because this part's closed.
Well, yeah. But so after, what was it, May 3rd?
May 3rd.
May 3rd, they're reopening this section just in time for Free Comic Book Day on May 6th. But if you see this behind me, these are boxes, and all these boxes are actually full of comic books. There is another wall directly across from us, and we're talking about
the store.
At some point in time, we're talking about doing a video where we're going to come in and showcase Infinity Flux, since they are our sponsor. But this entire wall, which is a good 20, 30 feet, would you say?
Yes.
Is nothing but 4 stacks of boxes just like this, that long. So we're like 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 3, 4. 8 times 4 is what? 20, 32?
32.
So 32 times 4, or 30, yeah, 32 times 4 boxes.
Like 120 just plain back issues.
I don't
that's
math.
Not variant covers,
I don't math.
That's not anything.
And then they got
full sets here, graded books and everything over here, and then variant covers here.
Speaking of Venom, they do have a 9.0 copy in there of on the shelf of Secret Wars #8, which was the. Actually, truth be told, it's listed as the first appearance of the symbiote.
It's the origin.
But it's the origin of the symbiote. The first appearance of the symbiote actually printed in, it was a Spider-Man issue that came out before Secret Wars #8 came out. And it was after he had gotten back. So it's not the first appearance of the symbiote, but it's the origin of the symbiote.
All right. Well, anyway, that's it for the new comics. Check those out. And I'm Lonnie.
I'm Mark.
And this has been Comic Book Malarkey. We are Untitled Nerd Network, brought to you from Infinity Flux, Dixon, Tennessee.
Right here. We're out.